The new CBS drama series Battle Creek tells the story of two officers who have polar opposite views of the world and crime solving. The show stars Josh Duhamel and Dean Winters, and it's quite entertaining. What you may not realize is that Battle Creek is a real town in Michigan.
And today we get a look at Battle Creek's real police department and what you don't see on TV.
Whole families just don't vanish.
This isn't CSI.
So if you ride with her, no one's gonna trust you.
It's not Blue Bloods.
I'm a senior detective with the Battle Creek Police.
And this may be confusing, but it's not Battle Creek.
I mean, this is not made up, it's not make-believe, it's real life.
6566, you have traffic.
When people see shows, those shows are made up, they're staged, they're prepared for that. We can't be prepared enough.
Suspect in the RX optical burglaries.
These officers rely on training and their gut to make the best decisions they can to protect the Battle Creek community.
All right, we're going to an accident.
We spent several hours behind the wheel with Officer Doug Bagwell. He's been with the police department for 19 years.
I just knew this is what I was going to do. Don't even look like she's got any damage.
Every day, Bagwell puts on his uniform to serve and protect. When asked about being a cop in a post-Ferguson Missouri world, he says it's definitely changed people's minds and attitudes towards officers.
I think it's made it more dangerous because people are more apt to challenge us. Was he here at the time? Or?
He, like many other officers, has a family counting on him to make it home every day. But he recognizes that is not always in his hands.
When you got to be worried about just sitting in your car, like when I'm sitting and doing a report, somebody coming up and can smoke you, just because they're angry over that. I mean, there's always that chance and always has been. But I think now maybe we're more aware of it.
On this day, Officer Bagwell handled what he described as some pretty routine calls.
There's the report number for the insurance company.
We saw a minor traffic accident.
Well, there was a B&E that Tom went to, and the suspect wasn't there, but apparently he's returned.
A breaking and entering at one of the motels.
So the hole was already there, and then his girlfriend came and shattered it out. Whose machetes?
And a peace officer call.
We're trying to help you out here. I know you're angry with him, all right? And we're not the enemy here.
These are the calls that you rarely hear about, the ones you don't see on TV.
Where were you staying when you stayed here? Well, let's go look and see what's down there.
Nope. You do not have a warrant. You are not. Nope.
He's got standing, ma'am.
No, he doesn't. Where's his proof of standing?
These officers encounter their fair share of verbal abuse.
4651, 4659.
They handle domestic disputes, shoplifters, traffic stops, and everything in between.
Next heading's field test was conducted by Crime Tech. Marlowe tested positive for marijuana. I don't like going with CPS to take kids away from their parents, even though they need to be, but when, if a little kid, that's still mom and dad. They don't know any better.
There are plenty of tough calls, but it can also be rewarding.
It's just not going to calls and fighting crime. It's actually getting out in the community, talking to people, having your presence felt, and making sure the community knows that we're out there for them.
Yesterday we were helping a lady older lady fell in her bathroom, hit her head, and just being there help pick her up.
Because it's not just about writing tickets or keeping the peace. It's about making a difference, one call at a time.
And somebody who is very familiar with how the city of Battle Creek operates is WBOC Kent County Bureau Chief Mike Chesney, who spent some time in West Michigan covering that area. So, Mike, tell us more about your time in Michigan and the connection to Battle Creek.
Yeah, good afternoon, guys. Well, as people probably know, when you're in the TV news business, a lot of times you have to work in a number of different parts of the country as you kind of work your way up the food chain from job to job to job. And I spent 2 years in West Michigan covering, I lived in a city that, is a real place, Kalamazoo, Michigan, covering Kalamazoo, covering Grand Rapids, and covering Battle Creek, Michigan. So spent a lot of time in that area over the course of my 2 years in Michigan.
So, Mike, what is the real Battle Creek like?
Well, like they tell you on the show, it is a town of about 50,000-ish. So that makes it larger than, let's say, Dover, where I am right now, or Salisbury. It was hard hit by the recession, like pretty much every city in Michigan was, because when you think about the Michigan economy, you think about Detroit, you think about cars, and so much of what Michigan does economically is based around the auto industry. So it took a pretty big hit. There's actually a lot of stuff that happens there that you may not even realize. It is the headquarters of Kellogg's and was the place where Kellogg's was founded, also the place where Post was founded. So it has the nickname Cereal City. Actually had a museum based around cereal there for a while. It's the founding place of the Seventh-day Adventist Church. It was the home of the abolitionist Sojourner Truth. So it's a small town with a lot of history in it. And I'd also mention, as you might expect, it snows there all the time during this time of year. So
I bet.
I'd fully expect episodes of Battle Creek to have a lot of snow on the ground as that show continues.
Okay, as a reporter, you probably worked close with the police department there. What was that like? What is the police department like?
Well, I tell you, I've watched the first 2 episodes of Battle Creek at this point. I tell you, it's not like what you're seeing on TV, which probably is to be expected. You know, have in the first episode moment where the taser doesn't work that an officer's trying to use, and they have to use a baby monitor to do surveillance. These are things that don't happen in Battle Creek. This is a modern police force that is well funded, is well staffed, has about 120 officers on duty, and you know, that's more than Salisbury has. That's more than Dover has. So a lot of people would. And I'd also point out that my experience, they generally have, let's say, between 2 to 8. That's a range of murders in Battle Creek every year. And just in the first 2 episodes of the TV show Battle Creek, there have been 3.
Oh.
So I might point that out as something that, you know, there probably could be a lot of murders in the show, way more than actually happened in the real city of Battle Creek.
All right, WBOC's Kent County Bureau Chief Mike Chesney, thank you very much. Battle Creek airs Sunday nights, 10 o'clock, right here on WBOC.
And DelmarvaLife will be back in just a few moments.